In this video, we're covering multiplying integers. So when you're multiplying integers, there's certain patterns that appear. So for example, if I have a positive integer and I multiply it by a positive integer, I get a positive answer. Whereas if I multiply a positive integer by a negative, I get a negative answer. A negative times a positive also gets me a negative. And then a negative times a negative gets me a positive. So what that means is if I have a plus and a plus, my answer is going to be a positive. If I have a positive and then I'm multiplying by a negative, my answer will be a negative. A negative times a positive gets me a negative answer, and then a negative times a negative gets me a positive answer. So, to summarize that, if both numbers have the same sign, the answer is positive. So if I have 2 times 2, the answer is 4, and that's a positive answer. If I have negative 2 times negative 2, that's 2 times 2, which is 4. And I have two negatives, they're the same sign, so my answer is positive. So the answer is 4. If I have negative 3 times negative 1, well, 3 times 1 is 3. And then I have both are negatives, so my answer is a positive because the signs are same. Now, if I have different signs, such as negative 2 times 2, well, I get 2 times 2 is 4. I only have one negative, which means that the signs are different, so my answer is going to be a negative. If I have 10 times negative 2, well, 10 times 2 is 20, but I only have one negative and one positive, they're different, so my answer is a negative. So we're going to look at some questions here. I'm going to simplify them. We have negative 3 times 6, so 3 times 6 is 18, but they're different signs. We have a negative here, and then we have a positive here. So a negative times a positive gets me a negative, so it's minus 18. Down here we have negative 3 times negative 7, so 3 times 7 is 21. I have a negative times a negative. They're the same sign, so we end up with a positive answer, so my answer is 21. Next, we have 10 times negative 2. 10 times 2 is 20. We have a positive multiplied by a negative. They're different signs, so my answer will be a negative number. So, recap. So when multiplying the integers, a positive times a positive will get me a positive answer. A positive times a negative will get me a negative answer. A negative times a positive will get me a negative answer. And then a negative times a negative will get me a positive answer. So remember, if both numbers have the same sign, the answer is always positive. If both numbers have different signs, the answer is negative. The same, we get positive. Different, we get negative.